Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 199 of Looking at Stamps. We're going to continue looking at the American Treasures series, and today is the Painter's Edition. The first stamp set of 4 that we're going to look at today is 3872. This is the Martin Johnson Heade stamp. He was primarily known for painting marsh and sea landscapes, birds, flowers, and still lifes. This stamp was issued in 2004, and the painting that you see here is titled Giant Magnolia on a Blue Velvet Cloth and was painted in 1890. And many people feel that he is the precursor to the Hudson River School of Painting. So once again, you get 20 of these in a booklet. It's one design, and this is 3872, the Martin Johnson Heade stamp set. The second stamp set is also a booklet, and this is the Albert Bierstadt stamp. This was issued in 2008. It is 4346. And once again, this is 20 stamps of a single design. This painting is called Valley of the Yosemite and was painted in 1864. Albert Bierstadt painted over 500 paintings. He was born in Germany in 1830 and emigrated to New Bedford, Massachusetts. He's known primarily for painting New York and New England scenes. He was drafted in the Civil War, and after the Civil War, he traveled west to paint the aftercomings of the Civil War. He is considered one of the most successful and prolific painters of the Hudson River School. He painted over 500 paintings, as I said, and he was probably one of the most prosperous of the Hudson River School painters. Once again, this is Albert Bierstadt, issued in 2008, 4346. It is 20 stamps of a single design. The next stamp we're going to talk about is I always get this mixed up, is the Winslow Homer stamp set from this particular series. If that name sounds familiar, it's because he was featured in episode 158 of the Looking at Stamps. So I'm not going to go in great detail because a lot of that detail was explained in episode 158. This is his painting Boys in a Pasture, and was painted in 1874. This stamp set was released in 2010. Similarly, it is a single design in which you get 20 stamps for the sheet of a single design. Once again, that's 4473. This is Winslow Homer. This was issued in 2010, and this is the Boys in a Pasture stamp, and the painting was painted in 1874. And the last stamp set we're going to look at today is the William H. Johnson stamp set. This was issued in 2012, and this is his painting Flowers, painted in 1939 to 1940. William H. Johnson was one of the leading African-American artists of the 20th century. He nearly faded into obscurity due to tragedy and mental illness. He was raised in poverty and had an early interest in art, often copying comic strips. He was passed over for a traveling scholarship to Europe, mainly based upon his race. His mentor, Charles Hawthorne, raised money for him to travel in 1926, where he met his wife and was inspired by the expressionists Paul Gauguin and Haïm Soutine. He returned to America in 1938 and shifted to a primitive style with bright contrasting colors and two-dimensional figures. As Johnson's work gained attention, his wife died in 1944 from tuberculosis. He traveled briefly and painted until 1947, when mental illness took hold and he was institutionalized until his death. In 1967, all of Johnson's 1,300 paintings were donated to the Smithsonian Institute, where they put on display, reviving interest and establishing him as a leading painter of his time. Perhaps one of the greatest honors came when President Barack Obama chose 4 of Johnson's paintings to decorate the White House, the most by any single artist. And once again, this is the William H. Johnson stamp set. It is currently the last in the series of the American Treasures series. Once again, this was issued in 2012. This is 4653. And that is all the time we have for today. Tomorrow we are going to look at this new stamp release of the Voices of the Harlem Renaissance. That's what we have in store for you tomorrow. Have a great day. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.